Okay, I think we're ready to go. All right, welcome everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the March 11th, 2021 meeting of the Waukegan Planning and Zoning Commission. Can we have a roll call, please?
Anderson?
Here.
Bill?
Here.
Griffin?
Mr. Griffin?
Here.
Grimes?
Here.
Paul?
Switch it again.
Commissioner Hintz?
Here.
Rivera?
Here.
Santiago?
Here.
Rodriguez?
Here. Okay, we do have a quorum. And I understand that Commissioner Haug is not going to be with us tonight. We have a very short agenda, so we should get through it pretty quickly. I know sometimes I jinx us when I say that. Item 2 on the agenda, approval of the February 11th, 2021 minutes.
So move. I'll second that.
Was that a motion by Commissioner Anderson?
Rivera.
Yeah, but I was on mute, so
Your
somebody
mouth
else
moving,
did
but I
it.
think you were.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and who seconded it?
I did.
Commissioner Bill. Okay, are there any corrections or changes to the minutes? If none, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Anderson?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Griffin?
Yes.
Grimes?
Yes.
Hicks?
Yes.
Rivera?
Yes.
Santiago?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes, motion carries, minutes are approved. Okay, old business. We have one item under old business. 3.1 zoning calendar V-1-21. This is the one that we carried over from last time. We were ready to bring it up for a vote, but we didn't because there was a indemnification agreement that had not been signed yet, and the petitioner was not completely prepared, didn't realize it, I believe, didn't realize it had to be signed. So that one, staff, how do we, Doug, I'm gonna ask Doug, how do we want to handle this one? We already had the presentation made last time. I don't know if we need to have another refresher or presentation made. Maybe city staff can just kind of give us a summary.
I think if city staff gives you a summary and then we can take any public comment on it and take a vote tonight.
In due course at the appropriate time. City staff, can we have the city's position on this, city's recommendation?
Staff does recommend approval for this vacation of the alley. As was stated at the last meeting, the alley basically services only this property. It does not service any of the properties that front Belvedere Road. Because of the various encumbrances that are associated with this alley, such as some of the underground and overhead utilities, we are recommending that only the assessed value of the property be charged for the vacation of this alley, but we are in support of this request.
Thank you. Do commissioners have any questions of city staff or of the petitioner?
No.
Nobody? Okay, good. Thank you. Then we will be voting on this under item 7 when we're voting on all the business items. Any other old business that's not on the agenda? Okay, moving on to item 4, new business. We have 2 items on the agenda, and the first one is being held over. Zoning calendar number 2628 is being held over till next meeting. And staff, are we expecting that they will be prepared to move on this at the next meeting?
Yes, we are. We're expecting that the traffic study be provided to us within the next 2 weeks. And that should give us enough time to provide the staff recommendation for the April meeting.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item 4.2, zoning calendar number 2629. That is a request by the petitioner, John Sarantakis, and the Washington Prime Group for a conditional use permit for an amusement establishment at the location known as 2650 West Belvedere Road. Who is going to be presenting on this? Mr. Sarantakis?
Yes.
Okay, are you the only person that's going to be speaking on this, or are there others?
Nope, just me.
Just you, okay. Then what I'd like to do is to swear you in. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Please proceed.
Okay. Do you just want basic information of what we're going to be doing at the location, or?
Yeah, what the request that you're making for the conditional use permit and what you're going to be doing, what the project is, what you're going to be doing and so forth. And then the commissioners will have some questions and then city staff will make their recommendation.
Okay, so we are moving from our 2411 Grand Avenue location to the 2650 Belvedere Road location. So the entire facility is going to be relocating there. We're going to conduct birthday parties. We're going to rebuild our miniature golf course, put our arcades back in there, our pizzeria. And in the future, what we hope to do with additional space that we have, add more attractions similar to bumper cars. We're looking right now at a little kiddie train that'll be in one area that'll go around in circles. Things that will gear more for younger children. We cater to, we say 2 to 12, but it's usually like 2 to 10. And birthday parties. We do a lot of birthday parties. We're going to expand our pizzeria and expand our party facility along with more new games. We'll be adding approximately 30 more the little kiddie rides like you used to see in front of Kmart. We'll have a whole corral area of those.
And when do you expect to be in operation?
Our last day we're going to be open on Grand Avenue is going to be Sunday the 28th. And
Of this month?
Of this month, yes. We have to be out by the end of the month. And then we should be, well, we're planning on being open April 1. So that'll be a Thursday. So we're going to do a 3-day turnaround.
Very
They
ambitious.
say it can't be done, but I can do it.
Anybody can, I guess you can. Okay, commissioners, I see Commissioner Griffin waving her hand there. If you just unmute yourself, you can. Commissioner Griffin? Were you waving your hand because you wanted to speak?
No, I was just waving my hand.
Okay. Okay, you had me fooled.
I do have a question here, though.
Go ahead, please.
That property already has the airsoft facility there. Isn't it already zoned properly? I'm talking about that plaza.
The airsoft facility has vacated that space. The CUP was specifically for that type of use. And this is a new use that is going in there. So the airsoft has vacated that space and this is the new use that will be going in there.
Underscoring Steve's point, our position is that the CUP expired when the airsoft power paintball, whatever the name of the business was, terminated their operation.
So specifically for that operation.
That's correct.
Okay, Mr. Sarantakis, I'm looking at the recommendation by the city and there are a number of conditions that are listed. It's like a total of 11. Am I looking at the right one? Yeah, 11 conditions. Have you read those and do you feel that you would be able to comply with all the conditions?
You know, I know we talked about them, but I did not see the actual list.
Okay, well, that's kind of germane to the whole decision
If I-
here.
If I may add, when I had provided John the agenda for the meeting, I did make mention that the staff recommendation would be found at that hyperlink of his agenda item, which listed the staff recommendation along with those conditions, and that was provided to him last week.
Let's see here.
This question, I guess, is for a combination of Steve and for Mr. Sarantakis, whether or not, you know, we can go over the conditions with you at this meeting.
Yeah,
whether-
if you want to mention them, I know we've talked about them, but I just saw the agenda and the letter. But yeah, if you want to list them, I could respond to them.
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I think.
Yes,
having
please.
staff Go through
We're
them.
here, we might as well do this now.
Steve, do you just want to read them and see what Mr. Sarantakis wants to respond to them?
Okay, you would like me to read them?
I'm happy to have Mr. Saborin do it.
No, I'll be happy to do that.
Okay.
The condition. Okay, the property is located in the 9th Ward. Staff recommends approval of this conditional use with the following conditions. 1, the establishment shall not engage in any outdoor activity, including the outdoor display, storage, rental, or sale of merchandise, specifically including vending machines or the projection of any video images. Now, this one I have a question about because I know that sometimes in your present location, you have had outdoor sales, tent sales, things like that. And I'm just
We
wondering-
have our video store is shutting down, so we're going to cease that operation. The only thing we've ever used outside is when a church or a nonprofit comes and asks us to conduct like a rummage sale in our lot. We give them permission as long as they get permission from the city.
And asking city staff, do you see a problem? Would they be able to get approval for something like that from time to time?
I think it
And
would
it's
go-
not us. It's not us. It would be the organization, the church, or
I think based on the way that it's operates in the city code, that would fall under the city's special event ordinance, which would be a separate approval process and would get city approval prior to.
But it
The
wouldn't be ruled out automatically.
I don't believe so.
Okay,
And then the only other thing we do every third, the last Saturday in June, we do our Customer Appreciation Day every year. So that's an outdoor event. We have free food, pony rides, attractions for all our customers. We've been doing that for last 30 years.
okay, item 2, no noise or music associated with the amusement establishment shall be audible from the exterior of the building.
Fine, we don't do that.
And before we go any further, I just want to mention that we are going to have audience time. That'll be right after item 5. And I'm going to list the phone number in case anybody is viewing this right now or listening to it right now. The phone number to contact the commission is 847-856-6412. Calls will be taken at audience time, and I'll repeat that again a couple times before we get to that point. Okay, item 3, any food preparation must be in conformance with the Lake County Health Codes and separately inspected and licensed by the Lake County Health Department.
Yes,
Petitioner shall continuously maintain and timely renew a City of Waukegan business license for this business and location.
yes,
All activities associated with this conditional use permit are limited to those specifically designated in the attached application and explicitly limited to the following. A, an arcade with no more than 150 automatic amusement devices. B, miniature golf course. C, a pizzeria or other restaurant. D, 5 private party rooms with seating up to 400 people in aggregate. E, a bumper car floor. And G, a laser tag course. The serving of beer and wine and not more than 6 gaming terminals may be allowed under the pizzeria use, but shall be required to go through the ordinary licensing processes as set forth in Chapter 3 of the Waukegan Code of Ordinances and in conformity with the Illinois Liquor Control Act and Video Gaming Act. Any additional passive or recreational activities in the future shall require amendment to this conditional use permit.
And Mr. Chairman, there was a correction to that condition, just to clarify that the only thing being approved here is that those uses are allowed under the appropriate zoning. It makes no guarantees that the petitioner would be able to get those permits.
Okay, Mr. Cerntakis, is that understood?
Yes.
Okay, and I notice here, did I see this wrong? C, D, E, and it jumps to G. Is there something that was left out, or was it,
That's a holdover from a typographical error on our part.
okay, that's what I figured. Okay, 6, all activity associated with the amusement establishment shall be conducted exclusively inside the building. Any changes that result in outdoor activity must first be approved by the city of Waukegan with an amendment to the conditional use permit after a full public hearing before the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Yes.
7, additional landscaping shall be incorporated around the entrance with pots or planters that are planted with year-round shrubs. Additional landscaping on existing islands will be improved as agreed upon with city staff review.
Yes.
8, per the Waukegan sign ordinance, the only wall signage allowed on the building is on the south elevation. All signage proposed shall require sign permits obtained from the Waukegan Building Department in conformity with the city's sign code.
And the street signs, what do you call it? The pylons out on the street.
I don't
Where
think
the-
that's, I don't think that's prohibited by this. This is only talking about.
Just
what-
on the building. Yeah, in front of the building. Of course, yes.
Okay, item 9, during the building permit and or business license process, all building code, engineering, and life safety requirements of the development must be satisfied to the approval of the building, engineering, and fire departments.
Yes.
Except as specifically permitted by this conditional use permit, the property must conform with the Waukegan zoning ordinance requirements for the B3 General Commercial District.
Yes.
And number 11, petitioner may be subject to a review by the Planning and Zoning Commission every 90 days, the first year of operation and every year thereafter. Such review shall determine the establishment's compliance to the standards for the conditional use permit as outlined in the City of Waukegan zoning ordinance. Any findings of noncompliance can result in the revocation of the conditional use permit.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have, I'm just curious, was there a conditional use permit for your present location?
There was, back when we moved in here in 97, I think they had done, it was either a 90-day or a 6-month evaluation for the first year. And because I think this is the first time the city was doing anything that big, so they weren't sure, what was it? Excuse me, some of the neighbors didn't know what to expect. So when they gave us this conditional use permit, there were a few stipulations for the first year, and the city had a right to cancel it if we were going to have problems. But as you can see, 24 years later, we're still here, and we have the entire block now. or
Okay, so
unit.
just based on your comments, it sounds as if you don't see any problem with the.
None, nah, if we got it through the first year, and we've been here 24 years, there won't be any issues.
Great, great. Okay. And the other question is, has the indemnification agreement been signed and returned?
And,
Yes, it has.
okay, got it. I don't remember everything we've done.
Okay, okay, because that would be an impediment if that were not done. And once again, I just wanted to inform everybody that the open phone lines can be reached by 847-856-6412, and we will be getting to audience time in just a little while. Okay. Do any of the commissioners have any questions of the petitioner or comments?
President, I have a comment. This is Raphael.
Yes, Commissioner Rivera.
The first condition, when he was talking about the Customer Appreciation Day, would that fall under number 7 if he needed a permit or something, or a special permit for that?
Again, I think this relates to what Douglas had made mentioned earlier, where they would just get a special events permit.
Okay, all right. no
It's a
problem.
one-time thing. It's not something that would be carried on a regular basis or on a permanent basis.
Yeah, we do it once a year.
Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to, clarify that. That's all.
Ensure that that's clarified for the city council.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from any of the commissioners?
I have
Mr.
a
Griffin.
question.
Go ahead, sir.
I have a question. Is there gambling slots there?
We do have, yes, we do have 6 machines. It was something we tried out with the state about 2 years, I think, after gaming became available, because we were an entertainment facility and we were a trial, and it worked out very well, handled very well, and satisfied a lot of different organizations and people.
Make sure it's in a separate area.
It
Is
is,
this-
yeah, yeah. No, again, we're a kiddie place and we tried it. I wasn't for it the first year when I was asked. And then the second year, we did it on a trial and we met all the state requirements. And then after us, they allowed all the Brunswick bowling alleys and other family fun centers. They were all allowed to do it after we proved that it can be done with kids around.
Is
So
this
we were
gonna be,
trial.
is this going to be in a separate area than the children?
It is. It is. Currently at our location here, when you first walk in, it's it's directly in front of the main entrance and it's corralled and it's overseen by our video store. At this location, it's still going to be to the left, but when you first walk in, our food court's going to be there and it's going to be right behind the food court. So it's going to be a little bit more concealed than as open as it is right now. And the parties will be right after that. So it's not going to be as obvious as it is in our current location.
I just want to know if staff was aware of that.
We were aware of that.
There's a specific condition related to that that is still, I mean, because he's changing locations, he still has to go through an approval process. I don't think it's as rigorous of an approval process, but again, the only matter before the commission tonight properly is the zoning and not the liquor or video gaming licenses.
Okay, any other questions?
Mr.
Any of the
Chair,
commissioners? Commissioner Bill?
John, I would just like to comment that your place of business has been in our view for a couple meetings now, and the public have spoken that it seems like you're quite popular, and I wish you very well.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Mr. Chair, I do have a question.
Commissioner Hintz?
So as Commissioner Bill just referenced in past meetings, your current location came up, and if I recall, it was relayed to us at that time that you were considering shrinking your business, and this seems like a growth. Could you just verify that for me?
Total opposite, of course. So between the building here being sold to a developer, we were under the impression that they would develop this building and we would shrink and they would put other tenants at a higher rate on the redeveloped side. So we were planning on doing that. We were also looking at other locations, but we could not find anything other than in Mundelein that would suffice us. And we wanted to keep a profile here. So we said to the landlord that we would stay with a smaller footprint. And if we were forced to go too small where we couldn't do it, then we would look at a smaller location in Waukegan and then move our operation to Mundelein is what our plan was. And with everything happening now, we were able to find Hobo. The management there was unbelievable with everything that they've offered us to try to get us into their building. And it was an offer that we couldn't refuse. It was more space than we needed, but we figured something that we wanted to do in the past we wanted to do was to add the bumper cars, add the attractions for the kids other than mini golf. And we were limited in this building until the day where the video store was going to be gone. And now we have an opportunity to do that. It's just going to take a little longer, just recovering from COVID. But I feel in the next year, we'll see a lot of changes.
Yeah, it's too bad that was related to us because I think some of the decision was based on that. But are you planning for more revenue then, thus more?
Of course.
Yeah.
I once we add the attractions on, yes, it's going to be totally different. Not only our parties, the growth is going to be higher, but the revenue coming in from the attractions will be very good. Our food sales, we're looking at a lot of positive things I think it's going to be very good. It's going to take us about a year to kind of pull all this together, but with the help with management of the property, it's very doable.
Okay, thank you.
John, one question, as far as amusement rides like bumper cars and stuff like that, safety regulations, I'm sure are a concern of yours. And I'm just wondering, are there state statutes or local statutes, or is it self inspected, or how would you look at it rides like that?
There are. The only thing I think that would get a little bit more technical, other than the bumper cars, is going to be, we've been looking at, they make some mini roller coasters for little kids to go on. So it's a round like train track, and it's got a little hump. And one that we were looking at has like a dragon in the front, and you could have a parent and a little kid sit there. You could have two, kids. So there is an attendant. It is a gated. There are safety measures. So that's a little bit not as complex as some of the other like spinning rides. If you go to Safari Land and some of these other places in the Chicago suburbs, those are a little bit more regulated, you could say. But what we're adding in is going to be very low regulated, very, very safe. We're not going to be doing the spinning rides and things like that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from commissioners? Okay, I'd like to ask city staff for their position on this.
Staff does recommend approval for this application for the conditional use permit at this location. We feel that, this is a long time running business with a proven track record over many decades. It will complement the surrounding businesses that are in the area, and it may even attract other complementary businesses to locate. We do have some vacant spaces in that plaza area, and that could warrant additional businesses to locate there. And it's a safe outlet for the families. This is something that I think Waukegan deserves, and it would be good to see them maintained here.
Thank you. Any of the commissioners have any questions for city staff?
Mr. Chairman, I have a couple quick ones.
Commissioner Hintz.
I guess it's not directly related to this, but this was a decision based on or this maybe is loosely related to that decision we made on the current building. Could you give us any update on what might happen there now that it's open?
This I might want to direct to Ms. Kisher-Lepper, if she's able.
Commissioner Hintz, could you please repeat the questions just so I
Yeah,
make sure that I
so
heard you
I guess
correctly?
I'm looking at it like it's a 1-for-1 switch, right? So we're vacating another building to send him to a new building to grant this permit. So I'm curious what the plan is for the current building.
So the current building is the building that Learn Charter School
Yep.
had applied
remember.
for the conditional use permit for, which you recommended approval. They have requested that city council hold the petition for a couple of meetings. It is on the agenda again for the first meeting in April at the Community Development Committee and the city council. So I haven't been asked yet to hold it again. I'm anticipating that it will move forward at that meeting, but I can't be absolutely certain at this point.
Okay, that's fine. Does the conditional use permit expire if, in the unfortunate instance that something happens to this business similar to what we just were explained on the previous one, or would we always have conditional use for an amusement facility at this location?
It would expire.
Okay. And I guess maybe it's a question in between. So there was some conditional or conditions of the approval related to signage. I guess, will the signage look similar to the current location? Will it be upgraded? I guess I don't want to pick on your business, sir, but I feel like maybe the looks of that building are less than ideal. And if we could upgrade that for the current location, that would be great.
The only thing when we're looking at signage on the building, it's going to be the existing signs. The only one that will get changed in the future is the pizzeria sign. Right now, that's a box sign. And I think we have the individual letters, but we're just not set up to get them put back up, or we like the individual letter look than the box signs. So there's gonna be one box sign, 6 by 12 temporarily going up, and then that will be replaced by Rocky's Pizzeria in individual letters like our store in North Chicago.
And that meets the requirements from the city of what this type of location should look like?
Yes, as long as they do meet the size requirements or size restrictions that are laid out within the sign ordinance.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions from commissioners? Okay. Moving along, we're going to be getting to audience time real soon. Let me repeat the number to call if you would like to address the commission either on any of the items that are on the agenda for tonight or on any other issue. You can call in, and the phone number is 847-856-6412. Okay, that's all we have on new business. Is there any other new business that's not on the agenda? No? Okay, informational items, I see none. That's item 5. Hello? Okay, no informational items. Then we're moving on to general audience time. Item 6.0. General audience time and comments received on all proposals in order received. Now is the time to call in 847-856-6412, and we're going to give anybody who may happen to be watching or listening an opportunity to call in. And while we're doing that, I just want to point out that we have on this last item, zoning calendar 2629, we have 5 letters of support for this project, okay, for this request. And I'm not going to read all of them. That would take a little while. I'm not sure it's necessary unless somebody really wants to hear them. I think all the commissioners received copies of this afternoon, okay? But we have an email from Lucy Leguizamo in support, a letter from Jim Stiles in support, for an email from Pepe Angel Vargas in support, an email from Edgar Castellanos, and another email of support from Angela Edwards. So we don't have any letters against the proposal. Staff, nothing has come in since these were sent to us.
That is correct.
Okay. All right, audience time. Do we have any, no, the switchboard is not lighting up. Okay. So we'll wait another minute, okay? Again, the open phone line is 847-856-6412. Anybody have anything else to say or any late questions or comments while we're waiting? The number again is 847-856-6412. That's the number to call in for anybody who would like to address the commission on any of the items that are on the agenda tonight or on any other issue. All right, we're going to move forward. Item 7, votes on all business items. We have 2 items that are up for a vote. The first one is under old business 3.1, that is zoning calendar V-1-21, a request by the petitioner Joseph Hughes for vacation of the alley at the east-west alley south of Belvedere Road and between Dilger and vacated Minocqui Avenues. Do we have a motion?
I so move.
Motion by Commissioner Rivera to recommend approval. Is that
Second.
correct? Commissioner Rivera?
Yes, that is correct. For approval.
Motion to recommend approval of the request as read. Do we have a second?
I second it.
Second by Commissioner Griffin. Are there any comments or questions on the motion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Griffin,
Yes.
Grimes,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
Santiago,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes, motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Hughes. You've passed the first hurdle. And the next step is going to be, what is the date for that?
Chairman, we're going to be having a special Community Development Committee meeting, and it is going to be on Monday. So it'll be next Monday, and then it'll be going to the city council that same evening. So rather than waiting until April 5th, it's going to be on the agenda for this coming Monday.
Okay, Mr. Hughes, you have that information?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Okay, next item is zoning calendar number 2629
Okay,
under new business.
I guess I'll,
This is
maybe
a,
I'll leave my sign up here so it looks like I'm here still.
okay, this is a request by the petitioner, John Sarantakis, and the Washington Crime Group for,
Kathy, can you mute Mr. Hughes?
for a conditional use permit for an amusement establishment at the location known as 2650 West Belvedere Road. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve zoning calendar number
Travel,
2.
yes, that's with, for this week.
I'll second it, Commissioner Grimes.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Anderson to recommend approval of zoning calendar item number 2629 as read, seconded by Commissioner Grimes. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we have any further discussion on this motion? Hearing none, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Griffin. Is that a yes?
Mr. Griffin,
Yes.
you're muted.
Grimes,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
Santiago,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes, motion carries. Congratulations, Mr.
Okay,
Sarantakis.
That was kind of low on my list of items, but I'll start moving it up.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everyone's support.
Congratulations,
Right,
John. Good
and
luck to you.
And the
Thank
next
you.
step is going to be what now, Mr. Sabrin?
Again, that will be going to a special Community Development Committee meeting on Monday, the 15th, and then to the city council that same evening.
You have that information, Mr. Sarantakis?
Yes, I do.
All right, congratulations. Good luck with your project.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Item 8 on the agenda is adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Commissioner Rivera,
Second.
second by Commissioner Griffin. We need a roll call vote for this too.
Anderson,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes.
Griffin,
Yes.
Grimes,
Yes.
Hicks,
Yes.
Rivera,
Yes.
Santiago,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes, motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. I just want to thank everybody for your excellent attendance. We have commissioners that are very serious about their responsibility, and it's good to see that we, in recent months and years, we really haven't had to worry about a quorum the way that we did at times in the past. So thank you all for taking your job seriously. Thanks for being here tonight, and we will see you again next month.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
Michael.
everybody.
Take care. Be safe.
Good
I
night.
have a question.